welcome to I've Got Something to Say, Tales of an Awkward Woman. Guys, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out to check out this video and listen to what I got to say. It means the absolute world to me. If you could, please do me a favor, like and subscribe to this channel so that way you do not miss not a bit of content that we will upload here. I promise you, you will not regret it. So let's get started with this story, right? So from the second video, if you haven't watched, I want to encourage you to go and watch the second video. So in the second video, we talked about me being the sneaky kid and me dating 3 guys my mom didn't really know about. So we talked about 2, but not the third one. So he gets a whole segment of his own because this was kind of weird for me to be going through as a kid, right? But I went through it. So for legal purposes, we want to call him Bob. So Bob and I, we met in high school, of course, where most teenage romances start. And and Bob and I, we met at a basketball game. It was a girls' basketball game. Bob was in the stands, and we were sitting there talking. So as we were talking, I'm like, oh, he's super cute. I think I like him. But Bob had a girlfriend. So I was like, no. Right? So after Bob and I, we got to know each other, spoke to each other in the hall. It became evident that we were kind of both crushing on each other. However, nothing happened until Bob broke up with his girlfriend. And so Bob and I, this is important, guys. Bob and I became friends. Bob was the guy, like the guy friend most girls need. Well, all girls need, honestly. You know, he's a good listener, gives great advice, allow you to cry on his shoulder, and won't attempt to sleep with you. Whoa. That was important. But most importantly, Bob was also a church boy, because I was a church girl. So that was important. This one year, because I was a freshman, he was a junior, so it was not that huge of an age difference, but I knew my mom knew she would flip out. So Bob was like, came to my locker one day, he said, hey, my friends want me to go to the mall, do you want me to go? And so for me, I was just like, hey, I mean, yes, go, because I'm not the type to be like, no, don't go, do what you want to do. No, go have fun, you know. And then I couldn't understand why he would ask me. Okay, so Bob goes, and the very next day, him and his ex-girlfriend were dressed alike. Oh no! Like they were twins. And I'm like, what done happened? Come to find out, Bob and his ex-girlfriend was now back together. So I was like, oh, okay. But I was hurt. Like, dang, Bob, I thought we was gonna try to be a couple. I was wrong. And then there was that age difference. And so I just left Bob alone. I would speak to him and that's it, right? So something happened where Bob and his girlfriend wasn't together, but he somehow came and talked to me. And we were talking, and he apologized, but it was, a part of me still felt like that was shady. But also, because in that moment I felt wanted, I was like, oh, he's back talking to me, you know. I was like happy to be talking to Bob again. So Bob would do things like walk me home from school, because we both took the same bus. He just lived a few blocks away from me. He made sure I got all the way in the door before he walked away. Bob was supportive and there, doing things that you would think a boyfriend would do, but at the same time, Bob never vocalized that he liked me enough to date me. And so, fast forward to Bob's senior year. Bob asked me to go to his prom. I said I couldn't go because my mom said I could only go to my prom. So Bob was like, okay, that's fine. So I was like, well, you can take me to my prom. Bob was cool with that. So I keep saying Bob quite a bit, y'all, right? So he goes, and for some reason he was just like, we was walking home. He was walking me home, and he was just like, hey, I just want to tell you something. And this is like out of nowhere. He was like, I don't want you to feel like I'm pressuring you to do anything that you don't want to do because of the age difference. So he vocalized that he didn't want to date me, but I didn't know, we didn't fully realize we was in a whole relationship because it was never vocalized and we never really talked about it. And so I kind of figured we were dating, but not really, because neither one of us flat out said that's my boyfriend or that's my girlfriend. So we broke up. And so of course I was crushed. So I'm going to fast forward to my senior year. Bob did agree to take me to prom. As a matter of fact, Bob came back from college. When he was out, he made sure he was attentive to picking me up from school, making sure I got home after my practices. Bob was present, but I didn't know Bob and I were dating, and we were back in that situation again. And I was like, I mentioned that, I was like, yeah, somebody said that's your boyfriend. I'm like, nah, that's not my boyfriend. He was like, yeah, I thought I was. But Bob never said anything. So what did I learn from this? One, I've learned that unless a conversation has been had and we took the time to talk about the dynamics of the relationship, there is no relationship other than us being friends. And I had to learn to keep my head out of the clouds, because I'm getting caught up in the fact that I think he's cute, he's a nice guy, oh, he's doing this, oh, he's doing that. Yeah, he's doing all the things that a boyfriend would do, but not once did he ask me to date him, and not once did he express verbally his feelings for me. And so it left me questioning, are we dating, are we not dating? And then it also showed me that he was, at any given moment, he could drop me and go to somebody else, and then when he was bored with them, he could come back to me. And I'm worth more than that. Because of rejection and low self-esteem and low self-worth, I was always willing to accept people the way people treated me. Like, you can be treating me like crap one day and then smiling at me the next day, and I'll be okay with that. But I learned my worth, and that's not okay. It's really not. So I want to encourage you to take the time to examine your relationships. If the person that you're talking to is not being vocal about how they feel about you, they're keeping you a secret, then the relationship just does not exist. You're so worthy of more. And two, my hope is that you know your worth and your esteem and self-esteem is built up enough to where you won't accept anything less. Because what it does, it tells people how to treat you. Because Bob, he might have liked me, but Bob wasn't vocal. You're a hidden gem, but if a guy likes you, he's going to be vocal. And he wasn't. And even to this present day, Bob is not vocal. Yes, I still talk to Bob, but not on the level where we're going to be dating. So that is all the time I have for you guys on today. I really hope that you've learned something here, and if you could, please like and subscribe, leave a comment if you can, and I'll see you next week.